Now to NBC5 Response, imagine losing your biggest investment to not one, but two fires, only to be hit then after that with a $71,000 bill from the city.
That's what happened to a young Chicago property owner who says the nightmare did not end with the flames. PJ Randhawa took a closer look at how a bad situation turned into a financial burden and what's been done since NBC5 Response got involved.
Omar Salah was just 22 when he inherited this building in West Garfield Park.
We've had this, it was in our family for about 20, 25 years.
It was meant to be a stepping stone and give him a strong start in life. But that strong start quickly turned into a setback after his building caught fire twice in the spring of 2023.
One, it was considered identified as electrical. And then a month or so later, the city deemed it as more of an arson.
Since the second fire, the building's been boarded up. So imagine Omar's shock when, in November 2024, his lawyer called with news of a bill he never saw coming.
They noticed it was like a $70,000 water bill. That's outstanding.
And this is a vacant building?
This is vacant ever since since the first fire, we boarded it up. Second fire happened, we had to come out and board it up again. So ever since the May of 2023, this has been a vacant property.
Omar's water bill went from $63 a month to more than $71,000 after the fires when no one was living there.
So when I called the customer service rep number for the city, they ultimately said, well, there could be probably a leak in the property.
Omar says there is evidence of a water leak and the city had a legal duty to do something about it. The water meter readings from Omar's vacant building show a huge spike in usage shortly after those fires, lasting about 5 months. Under Chicago Municipal Code, if there's a water leak on any property, the city is required to notify the responsible person and cut off the water supply within 24 hours if the leak isn't fixed. However, Omar says he was never notified and the water wasn't shut off for months, leaving him with that $71,000 bill. The city told us it is the property owner's responsibility to report their vacant property to the Department of Buildings. When that does not occur, water service and billing continues. We asked the city for clarification because the ordinance doesn't mention anything about whether the building is vacant or not, but we did not receive a response.
I feel like I'm getting nowhere. It probably taken me years on years to even recoup or make it make sense for me to even pay that back, or even find a way to pay it back.
Since NBC5 Response began asking questions, the city cut about $13,000 in late fees, acknowledging Omar never received his water bills because they were all mailed to the vacant building. Earlier this month, Omar says the city knocked off another $4,000 from his bill, but didn't explain why.
Shouldn't have to take almost 6 months. You know, I shouldn't have to have, you come out here and do all this just to be heard.
In January, the city of Chicago rolled out a water leak relief pilot program that would provide debt relief to customers who experience large water leaks like Omar. To determine if you're eligible, inspectors need to check where the leak is coming from. Unfortunately for Omar, the city says his building isn't safe enough for inspectors to confirm the exact location of the leak. So right now, he's not eligible for any bill reduction. PJ Randhawa, NBC5 Responds.